Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, talking fishing. If it's facts about fishing that you want to know, then tune in, folks, cause this is the show. We'll show you all the right bait to use, so sit right back, you got nothing to lose. Doesn't really matter if it's trout or carp, flathead, marlin or a gummy shark. Listen to the guys and you can't go wrong. They'll be talking about fishing till the cows come home. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And welcome everyone to Talking Fishing, another big episode coming your way tonight. Tiffany Newton, Adam Ring in the house, and tell you what, gee, we have fun the last 10 minutes talking about what we're going to talk about. We've got a bit of fun coming up tonight. Bit of fun coming up. No, that's good. And lots of news and lots of other stuff. I'm going to declare tonight that I'm giving up fishing for tuna and kingfish.
No, you're not.
I'm taking up boating.
Bet you don't. Bet you don't.
I may as well just say to people I'm going boating because I can't find. We had all the plans, right? All the plans Sunday morning. So I went to bed at 8:30 at night, Saturday night. Slept like a log. We're leaving the marina at 5:30 in the morning. I wake up 4:30 in the morning. I've had 8 hours sleep. I'm wide awake. I even had a shave before going fishing to leave at 5:30 in the morning. I'd caught calamari the night before. They were in the tank, ready to go live. Get down the heads. There's 10 other boats. Like, where is everyone? Why aren't they fishing for? I've always said this thing about kingfish, Adam. Yeah, activity creates activity. You need 100 boats there. You need all those jigs going up and down, all those live calamari drop down, and the fish will turn on. You've got to know where they are. Then you'll see someone catch them. Everyone will follow. And activity creates activity. There was 10 boats because 400 other boats went outside looking for tuna.
Yeah.
And unless you were there at 6:30 in the morning, because the bite window went from 6:30 to 6:35, no one else caught tuna for the day.
That's probably why we haven't seen the kingfish reports yet.
Everyone's going out on the tuna.
Everyone's going out on the tuna.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, there is kingfish being caught in other parts, but not the rip.
Yeah, did you sound them in the rip? Because I've heard...
No.
Yeah, because we spoke to Joe Farr. He said he could find them, but he couldn't get them to eat.
No.
And seals were playing havoc with everything.
Seals turned up at the boat as soon as we got there.
Yeah, see, that's tough. Even if you got
frustrating. You know what made it worse? Right. Tiff, we came back in through the heads at 1 o'clock, which wasn't a bad thing because there was massive schools of salmon at right on the tide change. Like, I'm talking acres and acres, and I'm talking 50 plus centimetre salmon. So that was good because we had a bit of fun on the way back in. But I passed Marco driving Sharkmen, and so he'd been out. He got the fish between 6:30 and 6:35 in the morning. Told me, and then we didn't catch anything. But he's out on his 1 o'clock charter. He's going out the heads. We're coming back in. So I thought I'd just text him and go, "Good luck, mate. You know, it's good luck." 30 minutes later, sends me a text of a 1 metre kingfish.
Ooh.
Goes out, sounds a school, drops a jig, bang. Thank you.
All I'm hearing,
Now,
Dave,
that
is
kid's coming up in Catch of the Week. I hate him.
all I'm hearing is that you could have slept in till midday and caught the bite time.
I'm still tired from getting up at 4:30 in the morning. Getting old. Folks, let's have a look at what's been caught by the people at home. It's time for Catch of the Week.
Catch of the Week, brought to you by Shimano.
Have a look at this. Now, I think this was a hot spot from last week. Oh, you weren't here.
No.
I think it might have been, actually.
Tankerton, King George Whiting. Have a look at this. Frederick and William, King George Whiting, Tankerton. Well done, boys.
It's good to
Great
see the
catch.
kids out.
Now, this is an Australian fishing show. If this was in England, I'd say Frederick and William. What royal names?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, I think it's their real names.
And catching King George Whiting.
Yeah. That is royal, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Well done, Frederick and William. More King George Whiting coming from Western. I've got to say, I think Western Port is out fishing Port Phillip on the Whiting.
And the whiting's been solid, really.
Yeah, and bigger fish. Adam Powell, have a look at this. Some lovely fish from behind Joe's Island.
Yep. Another
Top
catch
end.
of the week with a cracking first name.
Adam, yeah. Let's have a look at some more. Middle Spits on fire. June Jang. June, a lovely 45 centimetre King George Whiting. out fishing with our good friend Callan.
Oh, okay.
Cal knows how to catch a fish. I just want to know from Callum why that rod in the background's bent so. Is that a black queen bent like that? Why is that rod bent so much in the background?
Fishing the deep, he's got a 14-ounce sinker on it.
But that's over June's arm.
That's a good.
Anyway, June or Cal, if you could please explain, as Pauline Hance would say, please explain what's that doing that. Now, Brendan, who works at Tackle Cranbourne, he said, what's the go with everyone sending photos of flathead? There's nothing wrong with sending photos of flathead. We want to see your flathead photos. So Mal Reid is one of those that sent it. Let's have a look at this. A 48 centimetre yank flathead. That's a good fish.
And that's why
great
we're
fish.
seeing photos, because we're not used to the flathead being that big.
Yeah.
Just out of Carrum.
Yeah.
And why should it all be lake tyres 80, 90 centimetres? Yank flathead are just as good. You can actually keep them and eat them.
Yeah.
It's good.
I reckon I might know the reason why. I think we're going to talk about it later.
Okay. All right, let's talk about that. Well, here's another one. 59 centimetres of yank flathead over at Clifton Springs from Bilal Hosni.
Nice.
I think I
Good
got that
fish.
right.
Good fish.
Good photo too. Look, of a Port Phillip Bay flathead, that's pretty good, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Well, yeah.
definitely.
They're
You want to
such
go
an
fishing
awkward-
this weekend, Tiff?
Oh,
In
definitely.
Port Phillip? Whereabouts?
Yeah.
Where are you going to launch?
Not sure yet. I was thinking maybe Black Rock, but depends on the wind. So
Bit of a southerly, I think, this
Yeah.
weekend. But anyway, let's see. As the water cools down, and we have been talking about this, I know you and I
Yeah.
on radio, certainly, as the water cools down, the snapper will come back on the bite. and
Yeah.
maybe things are starting to turn, because have a look at this. Matt Taylor and Blake O'Keefe.
Oh, good fish.
Yeah.
Tiff, I think you sent this one in.
yeah,
Snapper off
so-
Mount Martha.
Yeah, couple of my friends sent me photos during the week while I was working. Thank you very much. While they're out fishing. So now, good catch. Yeah, really
fish.
good.
Yeah, I know. Michelle David, have a look at this one. Another snapper off Safety Beach out on the
Good
boat.
snapper too.
Yeah,
Dead calm conditions.
Yeah.
she's done pretty well there.
How good's that?
Okay,
Yeah.
already a bit of a pattern to the
All
snapper. See?
Yeah, starting.
I said there was some kid on Sharkmen on Sunday on the 1 o'clock charter. I don't really hate you, Joseph, but have a look at the kingfish. Now, Joseph's on the left, and well done, Joseph. Apparently, he threw the jig over himself, got it down amongst the school, wound it up, hooked the kingy, got it in himself.
Nice.
Good
How
job.
good is
Yeah.
that? Joseph, I wish I was you.
Great effort.
Imagine his muscles afterwards.
Oh, you'd be pumped. His arms would still be stretched and sore, I reckon. No, very, very good to see. All right, let's head down to Lake Tyres because it is on fire still. You know, I'm not sure we've ever had a run like this where so many people are catching so many
Yeah,
big flathead.
big
I mean,
fish.
maybe it's because the entrance is open or was open, sorry, and it's fresh. But good old Alf, have a look at this 91 centimetre dusky flathead from Lake Tyres.
Wow,
How good is that?
beautiful fish.
I think that might have answered the question on your flathead thing. Look how much better a dusky flathead looks than
Oh,
a
the
yank
pattern
flathead.
and yeah.
Like if you got
Yeah.
a yank flathead that was 91 centimetres long.
Oh, I don't think they get that big.
No, but if you did,
Yeah.
you'd
Yeah, you take a
wouldn't
photo.
look like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. All right, now the talk again on 3MP, because we do talk to a few people about the whole of the coast, and Malakuta is also on fire. Rob Pitzer, have a look at this, 73 centimetre out of Malakuta. Beautiful
Nice
flathead.
This is exciting because
Yeah.
Malakuta seems to be well and truly into its comeback tour. It went quiet for a little while there, but the big flatties have turned up again. It's exciting.
I know you travelled around Australia, Tiff. Did you do that part of the coast, like a Victoria's
no,
coast, or you just
definitely coming up though.
bypassed
Yeah,
Victoria, didn't you?
just be like straits and territory.
All right, and moving further up the coast, one last fish for Catch of the Week, Marimbula, 96 centimetres of dusky by Andrew Kettler. And
Amazing.
that is a cracking fish.
That I saw this fish on social media. I know Andrew had been up at Marimbula for a little bit. You know how every now and then you just come across people that they've got it?
Yeah.
Like when it comes to fishing, they just understand on a level.
Yeah.
Andrew's one of those people.
Yeah.
Because no
Yeah.
matter where he goes,
Bass in Blue Rock.
he can just suss it
salmon
out.
at
Just
Kilcunda.
approaches it differently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah. All good. If you'd like to send in a pic of your Catch of the Week, this is what you have to do.
If you want to be like me and have your photo on TV, email your fishing pics to info@ifish.com.au. Fish on!
I wanna go fishing.
And coming up next, fisheries news, including details on how you can have your say on the Corner Inlet fisheries. That's next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worsland's Tackle World Cranbourne.
Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start.
I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat.
Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Live from the studios of Channel 31 Melbourne, it's now time for some very fishy news.
And welcome back to Talking Fishing. Let's get a bit of news out of the way. The first one is, what a great milestone. The headline is, the first fish stocking from the new native hatchery. The first native fish from the new Arcadia hatchery near Shepparton are now being released into waterways across Victoria, with the Goulburn River receiving the maiden stocking. Set to improve freshwater fishing opportunities to get more people fishing more often, the $7 million Victorian Fisheries Authority's hatchery is a key focus of the Andrews Labor government's $35 million Go Fishing Victoria plan. More than 10,000 golden perch fingerlings are being stocked into the Goulburn River, marking the start of a new era of native fish production to complement VFA's other fish hatchery at Snobs Creek near Eildon. The Arcadia hatchery is set on 170 hectares on the banks of the Goulburn River and includes 32 ponds, 20 of which are plankton ponds, growing newly hatched larvae into fingerlings for release. The next major milestone, this is going to be a cracking, this one. The next major milestone for the Arcadia site will be the construction of a $3 million visitor centre, complete with a fish-themed playground, a fish-out pond that will be known as Arcadia Pondage,
Nice.
and interactive displays. The visitor centre is scheduled for completion by the end of this year. That is exciting news.
Not mucking around getting fish
No.
out of Arcadia and into
Yeah.
their
Into the
stocking
Goulburn
programs,
River.
are they? How good's that?
Yeah,
That's
it's
good.
great.
Good start. And the plans, I mean, I've seen basic plans at the visitor centre, but it's going to be good.
Yeah, everyone loves a visitor centre though, because you can
Yeah.
always learn something
Yeah,
from
that's
it.
right.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter where you're from in Australia, there's always
No.
something to learn. So
You love going into local towns now because they do it so well, don't
Yeah,
they? And
definitely.
you can read about whatever it is, whether it's the landscape or the wildlife or the the plants that grow there. I mean, there's all that sort of interpretive
Yeah.
signage and all that sort of stuff. And you can imagine this is going to be pretty good. And then this pondage that's next to it, I think we've had photos on before, but
Arcadia Pondage.
it's the equivalent of Eildon Pondage with native fish in it. So going to be good. All right, next one. The headline is grants up for grabs to improve boating facilities. Up to $2 million. This was announced last Thursday. Up to $2 million in funding will be made available for boat ramp managers to undertake significant structural maintenance, making getting out on the water easier for all Victorians. Set to be delivered as part of the Andrews Labor government's $31 million Better Boating Fund. The program will be run as a competitive grants program overseen by Better Boating Victoria. The recreational structural maintenance program will be open to ramp managers required to undertake structural maintenance and asset replacement works at publicly accessible boating facilities. From installing more user-friendly pontoons or to laying down a new boat ramp surface, the grants worth up to $300,000 each will help make boating better. The program is open to committees of management and local waterway authorities able to, along with the state and local government departments and agencies. The Recreational Boating Structural Maintenance Program grants applications are now open and they close on the Wednesday, 23rd of March. For more information, head to the Better Boating Victoria website. So what this is about, forget about Port Phillip and Western Port, because the managers of the boat ramps are actually funded in replacement, I guess, of charging fees to launch.
Yep.
But you can imagine the rest of Victoria, where they don't charge to launch, any upgrades to those would have probably been at the determination of local council or whatever, whoever runs them. This is about sharing that $31 million Better Boating Fund to all boat ramps in Victoria. And so anyone at home that, you know, you might live near Echuca, for instance, Tiff.
Yep.
Or you might live in Shepparton, or you might live in Benalla or Euroa or wherever. It doesn't matter where you live. If you've got a boat ramp that needs a bit of work, get hold of whoever manages it. Might be the council, might be a committee of management, and say, get a grant in because there's money there to upgrade those boat ramps.
Yep.
I think when we talk about any upgrade to any boat ramp, it's an automatic tick
Yeah.
because it's kind of been
Neglected for
for
decades.
so long.
Yep.
It's just,
Yeah.
I guess, it's just part of the next step. We can finally get these little, not even upgrades. It's just getting them back to what they should have been from
Yeah.
the start.
Yeah.
Just an accessible boat ramp.
Yeah.
It's easy to
Yeah.
use.
It's not
Or
e-
having in a tidal area, putting a floating pontoon in because, you know, 40
Yeah.
years ago no one had invented floating pontoons.
Yeah.
You know, so just little things
Yeah.
like that. Or a gravel surface that should be concrete, for instance.
Kayak
you know.
ramps, Dave.
Kayak
yeah.
ramps shouldn't be funded. Should be discouraged. Anyways, all right. Shut that one down. The Murray Codference is on this weekend, this Sunday.
Conference.
Have you registered for our free Murray Codference on Sunday the 27th of February, says the VFA. If not, you better get in quick because this popular event is booking up fast. You'll hear from sensational speakers, including renowned Eildon cod whisperer Kate Norman. There's Kate on
How's
your
that
screen
fish?
right now.
That's enormous.
Now listen to this about Kate, because Kate is the guest speaker. Kate has been a keen fisher since she was a child, regularly heading out on weekend fishing trips with her dad. Living in Beechworth in northeast Victoria, we'll leave the photo up there of Kate for a minute. She's surrounded by fantastic lakes like Hume, Mulwala, the Murray and Ovens Rivers, and of course Lake Eildon. Over the past 5 years, she's specifically been targeting Murray cod, earning herself the enviable title of the cod whisperer. Cod can be extremely difficult to catch, and they don't get to the size they do without being smart. So much time, effort and strategy goes into catching them. That's what makes it so rewarding, Kate said. Kate's favourite time to fish for cod, guess this. This is probably like you, Tiff, I reckon. At night, in the dead of winter,
Yep.
solo. It's a challenge that tests her resilience and patience, which is both exhilarating and rewarding. If you want to hear about all Kate's stories, get to the Murray Codference in Shepparton this Sunday. Pretty good.
Yeah. Been to one before? Definitely worth going.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just to hear Kate speak about that specifically, because it's something that's grown, I guess, huge over the last few
Yeah.
years and not commonly known, that big cod times in the middle of winter, in the middle of the night. Listen, doesn't sound fun to me, just throwing it out
Have
there.
you done that, Tiff? Because you're
I've done a little bit, but you know, if you rug up and you prepare yourself
Yeah.
and you set out, then you know, if you catch a fish, it's a bonus.
Well, it's-
I know you had to send some photos into the VFA this week, and there was plenty with beanies on and rugged
Yeah.
up and that.
But is it possible to rug up and be comfortable in -1, -2 degrees?
I think you forget about it because you're like, I'm there for the fish. I'm there to catch
Sounds like a
potentially a fish of a lifetime.
True.
Gotta do it.
Well, the results are in that
That's
photo.
it.
You just
And it's
like-
funny because we associate native fish with warmer water.
Yeah, correct. That's
But,
what. Well,
but
that's
you get them in the dead of the night
that's
in
why
the middle of winter.
just for that, to hear Katie
Right.
talk about that is
Yeah.
Yeah.
going to be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Corner Inlet, funny old place, Corner Inlet. And the headline here is Have Your Say on Corner Inlet Fisheries Management Plan. Commercial, recreational and Indigenous fishers, seafood consumers and the wider community can now provide feedback on the draft Corner Inlet Fisheries Management Plan, which was released on the 29th of December. We are a little bit late with getting this news to everybody, but that's the way it is. And it's open till the 27th of February, so we've only got a few days. Apologies for getting this to you late. Corner Inlet supports productive commercial and recreational fisheries for King George whiting, garfish, calamari, flounder, gummy shark, and several species of flathead. And we want it to keep thriving for generations to come. Corner Inlet's 18 commercial fishers land a combined average of more than 300 tonnes of seafood annually, worth around $3 million. With the product available to Victorian consumers and upmarket eateries within 24 hours of being caught. The area is also increasingly popular as a recreational fishing destination with scenic views of Wilson's Prom and year-round fishing within the inlet and offshore. Travis Dowling said the plan will enhance the reputation of Corner Inlet as a source of high quality local seafood for all Victorians and cement it as one of Victoria's best rec fishing spots. Draft plan is available on the VFA website, and you can email some details to Lockie there on your screen. Corner Inlet. Tiff, you've probably never listened to Talking Fishing on 3MP, which airs every Saturday morning. But one of the things we do, and what?
Nothing.
All right. One of the things we do, which is unique, I think, in any recreational fishing radio program in Australia, is we get a commercial netter on the show every week,
Yep.
and we hear what he nets.
Yep.
And we got to say, we have a ball with him, don't we? Luca Netter's a gun.
He is, and what's been really valuable to myself especially, because I had no idea of this part of fishing, like absolutely none. The education that he brings on how they do what they do is mind-blowing.
Yep.
They do an incredible job, and we basically line up a heap of questions for him every week on just throwing species at him.
But he tells you about like the big garfish, the garfish that are like 50, 60 centimetres long.
Yep.
He gets big flounder and he'll go, they're bigger than your plate. And if you go to this restaurant,
You can get it.
tomorrow night, they were caught today. You know,
Amazing.
like, and you just don't, that supply chain to get fish from
Yep.
a commercial netter in Corner Inlet
Yep.
to a restaurant in Melbourne is unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's
It's
you
real
see why
special,
so
isn't it,
fresh.
for
It is. It's
Victoria?
great.
What do we've got something coming up this Saturday where we're going to talk to him about. He was going to give us some restaurants, I think.
Yeah, listed where
Was it where the Trevally are going? It's sashimi or something like that? Anyway,
it was an obscure species.
we
but
make it
yes.
up every Saturday. Anyway. That's a great chat. But if you want to have your say about Corner Inlet, seriously, it's a great place. It is the only bay and inlet where commercial and recreational fishing exist together. And look, I won't hide it. I mean, I was part of writing the Corner Inlet management plan, and it's a good plan. It'll keep both sectors happy and coexisting, hopefully, for generations to come. There you go. Coming up next, what have we got? I can't even see what it says on the screen, but anyway, I think we've got mailbag and we've got no, it's not mailbag.
No, product of the week.
Product of the week. See,
And Cara.
I meant to have a little thing on the screen that tells me what it is. Product of the week and Cara coming up with a great recipe. That's next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
Good morning, spotters. Stephanie speaking.
Product of the week, brought to you by Tackle World.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing.
Okay, product of the week. This week we're going to talk jigs because we are in that time of year. Don't ask Dave because he can't find them, but the kingfish are out there. And I'm also going to give you a little tip on something that might be worth trying for the bluefin when they get spooky and there's lots of boats around. But
Okay.
we'll start with what's going on for the kingfish. So, Dave, you grab a hold of that one.
No, won't do any good.
Listen, these are a new jig on the market, and these here are one of those styles that just suits our fishery in the rip perfectly because they're designed to be worked at high speed, but they're quite heavy for their size. So Dave, you've got a 200 gram jig there. I've got a 150 gram jig here. Now, Dave, just for a little bit of backstory, tell us about the current and the tide in the rip and why we need 150 and 200 gram
Well, I'd
jigs.
say I don't fish with 150, you know that. So I'll go between 200 and 300.
Yep.
The thing is, it hurts your arms.
It
You know,
does.
so the heavier you go, the quicker that's going to fall because there are parts of Port Phillip Rip that are 75 metres deep. A lot of it, most common grounds are 45 metres. So that dropping in the water takes a long time to get down 45 metres. And the places where you're fishing, you're in the rough within 3 to 4 minutes. So if that takes 2 minutes to get to the bottom, you've wasted half your time before you've got to start winding up to get out of the rough.
So there is a way with these jigs to give you the capability to drop the weight. The issue is with such a unique fishery that we have in the Rip, if you were to drop your line class down to 30-pound braid and say a 40 to 60-pound leader, you could probably get that 150-gram jig down.
Yep.
The issue is the terrain which is on the bottom that the kings and the bait are hanging in. Good luck trying to turn their heads. It's such a unique fishery, but that's why these jigs, I think, are going to be so successful. They mimic the size of our bait, whether it be those small yakkers or slimies or even pilchards, but still maintain weight. So you can actually get them down to where the kingfish and the bait are when you find them on the sounder. So that covers the stuff for the kings. But this is something I think that is really exciting, that I don't think too many people have played around with yet. These are micro jigs. So that little one there weighs 40 grams and is tiny and has a real flutter type action. So what's different with these, you've got to look for the bite similar to what you would be if you were using a soft plastic.
Yep.
They're going to get hit on the drop, whereas these 9 times out of 10 are going to get hit on the retrieve.
Yeah.
With the tuna at the moment, there is so much boat traffic. So first thing in the morning, you get a 5-minute bite window, like what you described, and then towards the end of the day, especially if it starts to chop up a little bit, you'll get another bite window. Those fish aren't necessarily going anywhere. They'll be sitting deep and they'll be staying away from the noise. That jig mimics those tiny little white bait that those bluefin, and I think there is going to be certain times of the day where the best way to catch a bluefin in Bass Strait is going to be on a jig of that size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something different.
Yeah.
True.
And it's just something they wouldn't have
Should
seen
have
much
thought
of.
about that on Sunday.
Yeah. But it's a hard thing. You're going to have to rely on technology, rely on your sounders, because we have heard plenty of reports from this bluefin season that they're moving so quick.
Yeah.
You can see them 50 metres away, and by the time you get to them, they're gone.
They're gone. Yep.
Do you know what? So there was a lot of boats congregating in one area on Sunday, about 10 k's out from Port Phillip Heads, and Zach Cross from Cross Country Fishing Charters was there. So I rang him. I said, Zach, what's everyone doing? He goes, oh, well, one bloke got one on a soft plastic slow trolling.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering why everyone's doing 2 knots and doing that. And I'm going, what? Everyone turned over doing, the word just got around, everyone rang each other. Everyone's doing 2 knots, trolling soft plastics. But that would have been a good method.
Yeah.
That's right, because again, another unique fishery. They're tuned into tiny bait in Bass Strait, and the issue is you can't troll small skirts at 3 inches long. You can't troll them at 6 to 8 knots like you are with a hard body. So there's options, and I think these jigs are going to be good.
Great option.
Good one. New Cast.
Cast, yep.
Check them out.
Is it a jig called Cast?
All right, let's go to the kitchen. Cara has cooked up a storm this week, and I tell you what, I wouldn't mind having a go at this. Have a look at this.
The recipe I'm going to show you tonight is one of my personal favourites, and it's one that I love to cook when we're entertaining. It's fantastic in the sense that you can cater for small groups or large groups. So this is my take on a Spanish paella, and we're going to feature prawns and mussels tonight. The fantastic thing about this dish is the fact that it's a one-pot wonder. So everything is going to happen on this one dish. Now, this is a purpose paella dish, but you could easily use an oversized fry pan. So to get started, I'm going to fry off our onions and red peppers. And we'll let these cook just until they're sauteed for a couple of minutes. Just season these with some salt and pepper. And we're going to add in chopped up chorizo. And we'll let that crispen up and cook. So our onion and our peppers have started to caramelise, and we've got a beautiful crisp coating on our chorizo. So we'll give that a little stir through, and then we're going to sprinkle our rice on top. I'm using a bomba rice, which is a traditional Spanish paella rice. You can easily substitute this for a borio rice that you use in a risotto. Just going to sprinkle this in and then let it absorb all the oils in the pan, and we'll just dry roast it for a couple of minutes. The rice has been on for about 2 minutes now, and it's just sucked up all those beautiful flavours and oils that were in the pan. So it's well and truly absorbed everything in this dish. and that's where the flavour punch is going to be. So what I'm going to add now is a teaspoon of sweet paprika and a tin of diced tomatoes. Going to add in some fish stock now. So I will pour about half, and then we're going to cover it and let it sit for about 15 minutes. So this is where our rice will start to absorb and swell, and it will cook, absorbing all this liquid. We can turn the heat down to about medium-low. We don't want to be boiling this. So now this has been bubbling away. We'll remove the cover and add our seafood. You can see that it's absorbed all of the beautiful stock, and it doesn't appear to be sticking. Now we don't want to go through and stir it because we want that beautiful crust on the bottom. So I'm going to top off with the rest of our stock, add in our peas, and then in with our mussels and our prawns. So this is where this dish is very impressive, as when it all opens up, it's a showstopper. Layer of our prawns. Find if you tuck them up like this, they look really great when they're cooked as well. Another layer of our mussels. Our last two prawns. And then we're going to cover it back up. 10 to 12 minutes and our paella is ready. Okay, time to see if it's cooked. Smells absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Now you know that it's done when all of those mussels have opened, and obviously the colour of our prawns has gone to this beautiful orange. Now what a super impressive dish this one is. We'll finish it off with a squeeze of lime, place this onto the table and let your guests serve themselves. An absolute winner.
Pretty sure our microphones weren't on during that segment, but I wrote down some comments from you, Adam. I always stuff up rice.
Yeah. Fact.
Tiff, what sort of rice do you prefer in your paella?
Ooh, well, I know risotto is arborio rice.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Microwave.
But I heard Dave.
We talked about the packet you buy for
That's your fave,
in the
Dave.
microwave.
Yeah.
And Adam also made the comment, surely a paella pan has a lid. Has your paella pan got a lid?
Yeah. What's a paella pan? Look like a bin lid with handles just turned upside down.
We're going to start a new segment about Let's Ask Cara about the dish. We've got to get
Cara's list.
We've got to get that going, I tell you what. All right, coming out next, Kramer's Mailbag. Plenty more. We've got some good things to talk about next on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
G'day, Callan here from Paul Worsland's Tackle World Cranbourne.
Supercharged batteries have been supplying maintenance-free marine batteries since 2001. The Seamaster Gold range is second to none, delivering superior starting power and reserve capacity. No need to top up with water, truly a fit and forget battery. With up to 2 years replacement warranty, you know you have quality. Your battery is your lifeline. Without it, you're dead in the water because it's bloody hard to push start.
I've got a Seamaster battery in my boat.
Make yours a Seamaster Gold today.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
Welcome back to Talking Fishing. Now, this first mailbag was sent in by Don Newman.
Donny!
Don's worried, and this is serious before I get into the mailbag. Don is worried that the Queen has COVID. Because if something happens to her, he's not that far off getting that letter for his 100th birthday. and let's be honest, it wouldn't be the same getting a letter off Prince Charles, would it?
No.
Like
the same.
If you're going to hit 100, you want a letter from the Queen.
The letters end with
definitely.
the Queen, I reckon.
If I get to 100 and I get a letter from Prince Charles, I wouldn't be happy.
Return to sender.
Even William. Like, it's just got to be the Queen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Anyway, Don's worried and hopes the Queen gets
You'll be
better.
right, Donny.
Don writes, hi David, not sure whether you got any results from the game tournament held out of the Western Port Angling Club rooms over the weekend. No, we didn't get any of that, Don. But junior member Ethan McMasters captured a Mako of 66.4 kilos on 15 kilo line on Saturday to take home some great prizes. Now we've got some photos here. Let's roll through the photos. There's young Ethan McMasters. He also has a pending Victorian small fry, which is under 11-year-old record for Mako shark. Ethan also tagged and released another small Mako on Sunday. He also claimed a Western Port Angling Club junior club record for the shark. There were several southern bluefin tuna captured and weighed to just over 20 kilos, plus several others tagged and released. A few small blue and Mako sharks were also tagged and released, but most importantly, no kingfish were reported as capture or tag during the tournament.
Well, if I was a kingfish,
So
I
I'm
wouldn't be there either with all
I'm
those
not the
Makos.
only one that didn't catch kingfish on the weekend. So there you go. Thanks for sending that in, Don. And we hope the Queen has a speedy recovery.
Yeah, she'll hold on for you, Donny.
This one is from Frank. Frank writes, hi David, I live in Indented Head and I'm writing to you in frustration at the lack of response from Better Boating Victoria. I am one of many thousands of boat owners that use the ramps at St Leonard's and Indented Head and have to battle the elements if the winds suddenly spring up from the east, as they often do, and they have been a lot lately, the easterlies. Pain. I have sent Better Boating Vic emails asking if they had any plans in the near future for upgrading either St Leonard's or Indented Head boat ramps into a safe safe harbour, as there is no safe harbour between Clifton Springs and Queenscliff. I'd appreciate it immensely if you're able to get some sort of reply from Better Boating on my behalf. Well, Frank, next week, Catherine Greck, who is the Director of Better Boating Victoria, joining us for the full hour. I've already sent her your email. She's going to have a reply live on air next Tuesday night. So stay tuned, because I think there might be some good news heading your way, Frank. There you go. And the last one, Paul. He writes, hi David, just reaching out to you re Fisherman's Jetty at Mornington. I read in the local paper that you might be running for the seat of Mornington. Well, that's fake news.
Fix the ramp, David.
Although you never know what happens. You never know what happens later in the year. But anyway, at the moment it's fake news. Can you please assist us in any way to getting this jetty operational? It earns an income and it would be sad to see it handed over to Mornington Yacht Club for its personal use. I have a copy of the condition report from Parks, which I've read. Thank you very much, Paul. Yes, I've had some fairly serious discussions with government this week on the state of piers, because we just hear that they get gated off or closed, and they never get open again. I think there's about 10 of them at the moment. Some of them are nearing 3 years. And I'm told that there's a lot more coming to their end of life soon. I mean, piers are a part of Melbourne, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, they
Don't only just fish off it, but
No, people walk on them.
Yeah, that's right.
Dive off them.
kids jump off them for
Jump
fun.
off them. That's
yeah.
right. Can't take that fun away, and got to have piers. So anyway, thanks for that, Paul. And look, there'll be. I reckon both sides of politics will do something about piers, because there's enough noise about them.
Yeah.
I think we'll see at this state government election in November that there'll be a plan for piers, no doubt about it. Anyway, if you'd like to write into Kramer's Mailbag, this is what you do.
Send your mail to Kramer's Mailbag, PO Box 734, Patterson Lakes, Victoria 3197, or email kramer@ifish.com.au.
Now this leads us into the next subject. What are the best piers that you've ever been to? Well, let's open up for Australia-wide.
Definitely.
Now, Tiff, you've travelled.
I've done a bit of travelling now, so
you would have come across a few piers because you didn't have a boat.
yeah, that's
on your
true. Yep, I
travels.
think definitely the funnest pier and the most unique pier, and I think you might be able to agree with me on this.
Yeah.
Bustleton Jetty.
Bustleton Jetty.
Yeah.
People,
Amazing.
People will tell us we're
Yeah.
wrong because they're Googling at home, but it seems like it's
just
a couple of
amazing.
kilometres long.
It's huge,
You can
and
catch
they've
the
got
train out
and they've
there.
got a train. And if you're fishing, you've got to quickly stand there and wait for the train to
Don't
go
get hit by the
past.
train.
Yeah. Now, what have you caught off the Bustleton Pier?
Plenty of squid.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really good.
Beautiful part of the world, isn't it?
It's amazing. Yeah.
The Tathra Pier.
Yep.
Tathra, yeah, I don't think I've been to the Tathra Pier.
Yeah,
Regularly, yeah.
it is-
Access to really deep water.
Yeah,
People
and it's
often.
really high up too. Like it is just a different type.
If you caught a
of-
decent fish, you wouldn't get it up, would you?
No chance.
Like, I don't know how. But people balloon there for
Yep.
shark and tuna and
Yep.
all sorts here. So
Harvey Bay. We were.
we went
cracker
for a
at Harvey
morning
Bay.
walk to Harvey, to that jetty.
Yeah.
It's not called Harvey. It's called
Yeah, it had a name. I can't remember.
Long Wharf or
Yeah,
something.
but they
or-
were catching herring and then floating them out on balloons for
They were for
for
Spanish
tuna
mac and
Spaniards
stuff.
and
Yeah,
pretty
very
cool.
unique. Palm Cove, north of Cairns.
Haven't fished it, but
Deep water, can get Spanish mackerel at times there.
Warneat Pier. Cracker.
Nah, it's
To-
closed.
toadies?
They put gates over it. They closed it
Oh,
2 years ago.
we'll sort that out.
So, yeah, it's on the list.
Get
of
onto it, Dave.
Get fixed. I'm just trying to think what the Marimbula Pier.
Marimbula Pier. Yeah,
yeah.
when the kings come in.
Kingfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoulder to shoulder. People
Yeah.
chucking lures for
What do you
big
from the
kings.
people at home too? Get it on our social media or write to Kramer's Mailbag. What are some of the best piers? Love to hear about them. In Victoria, Lawn Pier.
Lawn,
Oh, yeah,
I was
that's
going to
an
say
iconic
lawn.
pier.
and you know what? That's busy. That pier is
It
so
is.
busy with
Yeah.
anglers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Busy.
Mornington.
Busiest pier.
Mornington's big time.
Yeah.
Someone come into the shop today and said, "Oh, where can I go for a pier?" I said, "Go to Mornington."
Yeah.
And they go, "Well, where do you go, Mornington?" I said, "Well, there'll be 30.
Anywhere.
I reckon on
Where you can
an
get a spot.
average any other day, 30 to 40 people. Just
Yeah.
have a look at what they're doing."
Same with Mordialloc. Mordialloc can be the
Yeah, Mordy's
same.
very
Like
popular.
when the gars are going,
Yeah.
there's just people lined up.
So true.
Yeah.
One little pier, and I know old mate will hate me for saying this. Davies Bay in Mount Eliza, and I know. Sorry, Brian, but I know the garfish are running off Davies Bay Pier right now, and it's just you've got to go through like. Your houses that are worth $100 million in Mount Eliza to get there, and then you park and you've got to walk around the edge in a little walkway, and then all of a sudden there's this
You're there.
Davies Bay Sailing Club in the middle of nowhere and a little jetty, and quite often lots and lots of garfish. So anyway, it's some good piers around. All right, coming up next, the all-important hotspots, and we've got some more rubbish to talk about soon on Talking Fishing.
Talking fishing.
The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron is a trailer boat and social club on Port Phillip Bay. The club has a great range of facilities, including multiple boat ramps, ample car and trailer parking, boat wash and fish cleaning, fishing competitions and boat safety lectures, boating activities and club events, a restaurant and 2 bars. Easy launch and retrieval makes for a relaxing time on the water for you, your family and friends to enjoy. And boating memberships are now available. The Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, the best trailer boat experience on the bay.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing, we're talking fishing.
And now the segment you've all been waiting for, Fishing Hotspots, brought to you by the Beaumaris Motor Yacht Squadron, Melbourne's premier trailer boat club.
And welcome back to Talking Fishing. All right, let's get into the hotspots because we've got a bit we want to talk about. This one is definitely the fish of the year because I got into them on Sunday. The Rip. If you can't find a kingfish like me, get into the Australian salmon. There are acres.
As big as the kingfish.
Acres of them. Someone said to me today that the kingfish will follow the salmon in, and the salmon are only just coming on. But I'm talking acres of big fish bubbling on the surface.
Nice.
300 seagulls. It is amazing to see, to be honest. And it's a great fishery. Only go there on the change of tide because it can be quite rough. And I'll tell you what, there was a big swell Saturday and Sunday. It was a little bit less on Sunday, but big swells. So just got to be careful in there. But great salmon fishing. Over on that western side of Port Phillip Bay, I know some people that have been fishing there and absolutely cleaning up on big whiting. St Leonard's is the next hotspot. Guaranteed capital of King George whiting in Port Phillip at the moment.
Nice, because we haven't spoken about St Leonard's for a little bit because everywhere else has been so good as well. But St Leonard's has always been the capital of King George whiting in Port Phillip Bay.
I think they just pop up in other places these days, and so people don't make the special effort to go to St Leonard's. But one particular person did on the weekend.
Yep.
And I know he caught a lot of King George whiting.
Nice.
So there you go. Let's head over to Western Port now, and Tankerton is the next hotspot. Lots of King George whiting. I know Steve Johnson, the captain of Ace Fishing Charters, been getting over to Tankerton and catching some nice whiting. Some big fish there as well.
Always had a squid jig out there too.
Oh, yeah.
Squid around Tankerton.
Steve's also been talking about some nice garfish around too
Ooh.
in Western Port. All right, and then over the other side of Western Port, I guess on that eastern side of Western Port is Coronet Bay. Lots of King George whiting around there at the moment as well. So there's some good options for those in Western Port. If you want to look further afield and you do want to find a kingfish, just follow Sharkmen Fishing Charters. No, I shouldn't say that. Shouldn't say that. Marco will kill us. But Barwon Heads, if you want to head down to Barwon Heads, kingfish and tuna, that's where they're getting them. Turn right out through the heads, get down there, and only in 30 metres of water too.
Yeah,
it's don't have to go too far offshore.
It's been too good to ignore. There's
so
been
consistent.
fish.
The other one was I saw some great photos from last week.
Oh, yeah.
At the Goulburn River in Murchison. Some lovely Murray cod. You've got to know which log they're hiding under. But I'm just saying that around Murchison there is some lovely Murray cod at the moment. And yellowbelly, of course,
Yeah,
Tiff.
yellows.
Yeah. Time for everything there.
That's it.
There you go. I wanted to ask you, because we were talking about fish and eating fish.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question for both of you. What's the worst common fish to eat?
Oh, it's an easy one for me.
So it's stuff that you can catch, but you just go, I wouldn't eat that.
Yeah, trout.
Trout.
Trout. Smoked, it's good. So this is where there's kind of little asterisks.
How would you eat smoked trout?
Just however you want. Pick it off the bones.
Well, just eat it.
So you're more selective on how it's cooked then?
Yeah, you can't cook trout normally.
Yeah.
It's yuck. Don't like it.
See, I do. I do a
you do.
pasta.
No good.
I've got to remember what's in it. Trout, capers, and asparagus. Right, and what you do is, so you just do your fettuccine with a bit of a lot of olive oil, and you throw your raw trout in, and it just flakes up and all that sort of stuff. But with your capers and your asparagus, you put it through a chopper. I've got a Tupperware chopper that I like. You put all that through the chopper, and then you throw that in with the trout, and it actually doesn't taste like trout anymore.
Do you know why?
Yeah.
Do you know why you don't mind the trout in that dish?
Why?
Because it's got capers in it, and they're worse.
No. Tiff, what common fish?
I'm going to say from a freshwater point of view, love to catch Murray cod, but I'd prefer to eat a yellow belly. Yeah. I find they just taste. I just find they taste a lot better than cod.
People at home are probably saying, well, who eats Murray cod? Well, you can go to places like the Springvale Market, and Murray cod are in tanks there. They're probably from a farm, but obviously a lot of people eat them.
Yeah, definitely.
Because don't they get quite fatty?
They do. They get quite fatty, and I think they like a little bit of muddy taste sort of thing as well.
Particularly if they're from a farm. But the Asian way of cooking Murray cod must be quite nice because Springvale Market.
Yeah.
It's. I don't know.
I'm open to trying it. I haven't eaten Murray cod actually.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten it?
Yeah. I went fishing with Trelly once, and we ate everything that we caught that weekend.
Too bad. You can't remember the trip.
I can't remember. Can't remember how it tasted, but anyway. Can I throw? I'm going to get shotty. Snapper. Snapper are boring to eat.
I'd have to agree. I reckon
they're good in a photo. That's about all.
Yeah.
I reckon.
And I reckon pan size, pan size is the good size to eat.
Yeah, no, they're a good size to eat. What? Because they fit on your plate. But do they taste any better? Does a big snapper change in taste to a small snapper?
Bigger ones get mushy, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah.
Texture.
I'd agree with that.
I'm throwing snapper in.
I don't mind them, but they're not the greatest. They're not whiting or gummy.
No. What else? Yeah, you got any other worst common?
No, we're pretty lucky. Most stuff down here's all right.
Yeah.
We've got a great range of table fish, really, in Victoria. Like, we are really lucky.
Can I say tuna? I mean,
do you know the easiest way to wreck tuna and make it no good to eat is to cook it, in my personal opinion?
Yeah.
Sashimi, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. How much sashimi, how many kilos of sashimi can you eat in 3 days?
Is that a challenge?
Yeah. Because what I say, I mean, and it's great catching tuna, and most likely they don't release that well, so most people keep their bag. But you have your first day of sashimi and you might eat 12 slices or whatever. But after that, what do you do? Well, you might have sashimi the next day or take a platter in for the guys at work. Then what do you do?
As that, be a good bloke and share it around.
Yeah.
It's really not. It's not good for freezing, is it? Like tuna. No.
I don't reckon. You can smoke it.
Could you, if you say cryovac the backstrap?
Yeah.
Could you, if you were to then thaw it, would it be all right sashimi? I've never tried it, but I don't know what it's like frozen and then thawed.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't think
Could
so.
see it going a little bit soft and yuck, but I don't know. I've never tried it.
No, I've never tried that either. It'd be interesting to know from anyone at home that's ever had sashimi from a frozen fish because never tried it. But I think the sashimi is all about the texture.
Yeah.
The freshness.
Freshness, yeah, for sure.
I just don't know what freezing would do to it. I don't know.
It's one to find out,
But
definitely.
people, have you ever had sashimi scallops?
No.
No, I have heard of it though.
People do that. Now, would a scallop
white
taste
part?
any different if it was frozen and then thawed? And I mean, scallops are beautiful at any time. So
You'd have to lose that freshness. You'd think.
Yeah, I don't know.
You'd
Scallops, trevally.
Yeah, that's the other
Could you
thing,
freeze a trevally and have that sashimi later on?
Or trout. Could you have it sashimi? Probably could, but it'd be yuck.
I think you'd do trout.
No.
Murray cod sashimi.
Probably not.
Too
I don't
fatty.
think so.
Nah.
Anyway, there you go. I'm sure lots of people have got lots of comments on that sort of stuff. So, but that's it for Talking Fishing. Hope you enjoyed the show. A great weekend of weather coming up again. Might be a little bit of southerly in it, but there's lots of places to go out of the get out of that southerly. Send us your pics. We want to see the variety. It's the best time of year. Until we see you again next Tuesday on Talking Fishing, please enjoy your fishing, stay safe on the water, and enjoy your fishing.
Nailed it.
Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing. We got all you need, just take a look. Watch those fish jump on your hook. So just relax and take your time. Enjoy the show, then drop us a line. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing. Talking fishing, nothing but fishing. We're talking fishing. Talking fishing.
Have a good weekend, Mr. Walker.
You too, son.